Welcome back to the Sick Boys podcast. I am your host, JD Denham, and I got my buddy looking buffed up, looking all tan and buffed up, Justin Wenzel. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah, you're
Couldn't
looking
be
pretty
better.
big these days, dude.
Oh man,
At the
just
gym.
eating. Just
The
constantly.
difference is, though, you're at the Lifetime, so it's bright lights,
Yeah,
not the dark
yeah,
light
that'll
that
do it.
we're used
That'll
to.
do it. Yeah, what are you wearing today on your wrist? Which one is that? Is that a Sprite?
This is the Starbucks.
Oh, you got a Starbucks.
I've been going big, bro. I told you I'm investing.
Wait, so you got another one?
I did. I'm waiting for the Batman next.
Okay, so you got a Sprite and a Starbucks.
Sprite, Starbucks, Pepsi,
Diet root beer.
root beer. I love the root beer though. It's like
It's the
thick and
best.
like just tanky.
Yeah.
It's just tanky. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
gonna
don't
stop.
even wear- I don't even wear
I'm
my-
gonna
I
Batman
don't-
and I'm stopping.
So
Okay, good.
I have the Kermit, which is similar to
Yeah.
the Starbucks with the green bezel. And I don't even wear it. I don't wear my Yachtmaster. I don't wear any of them. I only wear
Yeah.
my root beer.
Yeah. The first one that I had, I don't ever wear it either. But it's like I said, I'm gonna keep them. I'm gonna give one to my son when they graduate, and just gonna
Yeah.
just they're investments, bro.
They're good.
I
I
mean,
didn't
we
realize.
keep
I
getting
love the Starbucks. Green,
That's pretty
green.
cool.
Yeah, the green bezels are my
Submariners.
favorite.
I like the GMTs a little bit better than the Submariners, but this is dope. Okay.
Well,
It's
no,
still a
yeah,
little
it's
bit
just
more
a cool. It's a
tanky.
cool. Yeah, it's a cool green. It just they did a good job with that one. Anyways, so what's new? I mean, obviously we talk a lot, but
Dude, life is in full force, bro. Just busy, busy, busy. Just the same shit that you and I always talk about, bro. Just go. Like I'm not stopping, bro. Like I mean, my wife's like always like, dude, you like do a lot. Like I don't right now. I'm like in fifth gear, sprinting forward because I know it ain't gonna always be like that. Am I tired? Sure. Do I get burned out? Sure. But dude, I don't know, bro. Like I have a drive in me lately that just why not run it out, bro? The yes and shit in full effect, bro.
That's it. Yeah, it's so funny because like I since I told you, I don't know, like 6 months ago, I don't know, I was like, I am like if I think I want to start a business, I'm just going to do it. Like if there's something I want to do, I'm just going to do it. And
Yeah.
and this month I've had probably my biggest month collectively in business that I've had ever. And it's wild, like literally wild. So it's been cool. And obviously financially it's fucking insane, but everything else, like so much purpose. And here's what's funny is that like I'm not ran dry. Like like at this point I'm feeling really relaxed, but like, business is just happening like very quickly and easy. And I truly believe it's systems. I truly believe it was, there's some other elements going on where some of my competitors are dropping off the face of the earth. And
Oh, really? Who's your biggest competitor? Or pet competitors?
Well, I don't like talking about it.
Oh, okay. I don't even know.
Yeah.
You can tell me later.
I'll tell you later. But yeah, there's some people that if they don't work with me, they would work with this other person. And and he fell off, and another guy is falling off as well. So we've been finding that, like, since we've stayed the course, we've always been honest, we've always been true, we've always lived below our means, we've always like done things right. That now it's like we're just, I don't know. It's just crazy. So yeah, life has been really things have just been happening easily. It's still a lot of work. Like don't get me wrong, but like you and I are so conditioned for the work, right?
Yeah.
Which is
work. Yeah, work parts is good. I haven't been sleeping well, so it's funny. You'll respect this. So I some of it's over motivated to the degree where, bro, I wake up at 2 and I'm just like, it's like Christmas. Like I want to get up and get shit done. Like I'm just in a zone to kick ass. The problem with that, as you can imagine, it compounds after a while because I'm not getting enough sleep, and then it beats me up. So that's the negative. So I can't sleep past 2, bro. Like a lot of times I wake up at 12. I go to bed at 9, like clockwork. And a lot of times I'm bright-eyed at 12. So it's been going on for, good month and a half. So anyways, long story short.
What's waking you up? Is it your body or your mind waking you up?
It's my mind. It's just like wide awake, thinking of all this stuff I need to do and all these ideas. So I'm have a plethora.
What time do you want to sleep till?
4. Yeah, I usually get till 4. 9 to 4
Yeah,
is
so
generally my
I'm 9 to 3:30, and I don't use an alarm. I
never
sleep
had.
right up to 3:30.
Right.
Um, so can I make a suggestion that
Yeah,
I
dude.
did? Because that was when I was so about, oh man, uh like a year and a half ago, that was happening to me, where it was like, I had so much going on because I was doing a lot of events back then,
Yeah.
right? And so and not to mention hosting people like 2 3 times a week. Like, I mean, dude, it was crazy, right? So it was like always, your mind waking you up, and so on and so forth. So KSM 66, I used to take two before bed, and then I used to take a capsule and put it next to my on my nightstand.
If you wake up.
And if I wake up, I take the capsule, and because it doesn't make you groggy, but
What is it?
literally KSM 66.
I haven't even heard of it.
So it's ashwagandha and a few other things. Okay. But literally, because I would wake up like that, right? Where it was like, oh my God, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And then I'm like, I might
Yeah,
as well just get up now, right? Like
I
that's the
do, yeah,
feeling
every
that you
time.
get, right? I might as well just get up, I might as well just get started, right?
Yeah.
And that was exactly me, dude. Literally to the T. I'd go to bed at 9, I'd wake up right then, and that was it. And so after doing this, and Jonathan Phillips recommended I do this, and I still to this day put one on my nightstand. I very rarely have to take it anymore. I'm pretty, and I got a new mattress too, so it helps me sleep throughout the night. But that's one thing. The other thing is, do you wear a sleep mask,
No.
like a eye over your eyes?
Uh-uh.
Okay, I'm gonna send you the one that I got, and me and Christina both wear it, and it has Bluetooth headphones on it. And I use it's there's a couple different ones, but there's like 437 hertz, and it's basically like Jeremy Jackson will be able to tell you all about this shit.
Oh,
Like
wow.
he knows all about it, but it's like it's the hertz, like the sounds
Yeah.
that like help with like healing,
Oh,
sleep,
rad.
restoration, stuff like
Oh,
that.
cool.
So when I go to bed, I put my sleep mask on. It's perfectly pitch black,
Mm.
and then I think it's 437 hertz is what I've been doing, and it's like it's just a frequency that plays in your ears, and it just knocks you out. I'll send you the link for both things, the KSM and that.
Rad. That's
And
awesome.
so
Yeah.
with the KSM, because it's your brain waking you up, your body wants the rest, right? Like we know that
Yeah.
we beat the shit out
Right.
of our bodies,
Sure.
right? So when you take the KSM, it works pretty fast. At least it does for me, right? And then all of a sudden it relaxes my mind again, and I'm able to go back to sleep.
Rad. Yeah, I've been doing
So
that with, melatonin.
yeah, but you're gonna wake up groggy with that.
Not as bad, but I keep, like, a couple right by the bed, and I like because but it's like, it's either that or, like, don't freaking sleep, and it compounds, and I've dug into it quite a bit too. I was taking testosterone at night, and there's a
Mhm.
lot of things now I'm reading that testosterone keeps people low. So I pulled all my peptides out. I am not running any peptides except for HGH. So I pulled all my supplements out. What it said in my research, and it sounds logical, you can find anything that can contradict this, but that because I've been fasting for so long and so much that I've almost overdone it to the degree where a lot of times I'll just eat one big meal and I'm not
Mhm.
getting enough nutrients. So it's like kind of like shocking my system to the degree where it's too much. So
Yeah.
I'm like, well, that seems fucking logical. So what I'm going to do, which I started yesterday and today, I'm eating 5 meals. I'm having them delivered, macroed, perfect, what I want. And it's no seed oils. It's this rad place. And so I don't have to think, and it's been great. I've been eating,
Are you
so for
back
me,
on
it's a
carbs
lot
or
different. I don't eat that. Yeah, it's sweet potatoes and rice. So it's
good
definitely like carbs,
whole
but
food?
5 meals for me is a lot, bro. I don't eat like that.
Yeah.
So shocking the system. One, I'll get a lot bigger. Like, why not? And
Well, yeah,
two,
you always
it's
look
supposed to
fuller when
reset
you enter.
my circadian rhythm.
Yeah, you always look fuller when you eat carbs.
Oh, for sure.
And
100%.
well, you do for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would suggest though trying that, and it's different because like obviously melatonin, you're tranquilizing yourself, where like KSM is like more, it's not tranquilizing yourself, it's just calming your brain down.
Right.
And so like I said, I love it. I take KSM before I go to bed every single night. I'll
Okay.
send you the link to Jonathan. You can drop in
Yeah.
and just grab some from him,
Cool.
but
Anything, bro. I
um,
mean, because I went through the stage maybe. It was when Liz was putting Mason. She was getting him off weaning, like him off breastfeeding, which that was a nightmare. So she's such a rad human. She slept downstairs with him, not to wake me up because that's who my wife is. So I got such good sleep. I don't remember what I was doing then either. I took out the testosterone. Anyways, for a week, I slept freaking great, right? And bro, that next week I freaking crushed it, dude. I felt so freaking good.
Yeah.
Talking about focus, bro. I killed it. I killed it. And so I need to get back to that, and like in regards to like the you're a systems guy. We talk about that and we are too. Like we're finally at this company hired to the degree where I think we have 15 full-time employees. So there's everybody that's filling in the roles. My thing is where it's taking up a lot of time is my podcasts. I do 5 a week, which, for the peptide, I don't have to prepare. And ours, we just jump on and it's easy for us. But anyways, 5 a week's a lot. That's a job for a lot of
Hmm.
people. So that's the
Yeah.
thing that kind of is the hardest, just because it's time consuming. Where the other stuff, we pretty much have systems.
Yep.
But
Well, there's really
I'll
no
tell you
way to
this, I love
systematize
doing
a
it.
podcast
I
like
love the
that, you know?
podcast. I love doing
Yeah.
podcasts. I never even thought that. It's actually probably my favorite thing. Sitting and talking to people.
100%.
Like last time we were on with all those guys, I was like, dude, that was freaking rad, dude. They were all
Yeah.
pumped. Like, dude, like 10 guys hit me up from then. They're like, dude, oh my God, that was so rad. You guys killed it. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah, no, it is fun. And with the podcast it's because right now I have three. This one, and then Christina and I have been doing Legacy Aligned, which is going to drop soon. And that's going fucking insane. Like we started our new page 2 weeks ago. We're at like 4.7 million views. We got like 7,800 followers in like 10 days. And it's just climbing every single day. We're almost getting like up to 1,000 followers a day on that page. It's absolutely insane. And
Rad.
I had to buy another iPhone um to manage like all the contacts and people coming through. So we set up some automation, set up some systems right away, because it was like, why waste any time? And I think
Yeah.
anybody listening to this, like the biggest thing is like and our topic, we just kind of went off on a rant here with like with our own lives, and I hope you guys understand that like these are the problems that we have nowadays. And that's literally we can circle this right back to what you and I are talking about, which is the believe it before you see it. And
Yeah.
in a way, you have to understand that this is faith, right? Faith is believing it until you see it. And for us, and I can speak for both of us, I'm sure that like, we had to have this incredible amount of like faith in ourselves. And I'm sure you can probably agree that like we didn't always. And now all of a sudden it's like, we have a vision, we have a belief that we can get there, and
Yeah.
and we just follow that obedience, whatever you want to call it, and it just starts happening. And it's literally been, I know for myself, like especially the last 6 to 8 months, it's been just like pure obedience and just following the process and doing everything
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And
Even if
it's
it
and
feels
it's
like it's
just,
off, still do it.
yeah, and it's just unfolded. Everything gets easier when you are like obedient to your purpose, obedient to God. Everything just starts to unfold for
Yeah.
you.
Flows in mind.
And both of us are having this like first quarter where, yeah, we're busy as hell, but like it's such abundance, and it's there. And I truly believe it's because, like, for us, like, we don't have to do sick boys, but
Yeah.
we like to, we enjoy
Yeah.
it. But
Right.
I know for a fact, and for a fact, the lives that it has impacted, because we get the feedback constantly.
Yeah.
How
That's why I
many
like
guys
it.
tell
That's
me?
why I like the podcast. I get to
Yeah.
one, just talk to cool people. That's rad. And hear and learn. I mean, every time even we talk, I mean, when you talk to people, you're almost like purging it to the degree where like even if you're getting it out, you're purging it and you're like you hear yourself, you know what I mean? You continue to just keep talking through the problems. If it's somebody that's like in the area of they don't believe that they can do it, which a lot of people are, is you just have to do what Justin says. Take action. Like, dude, like you outwork self-doubt every enough days that you lose the self-doubt, and then you completely know that. Now some of it is you'll start tasting wins and those start to motivate you, and then you start getting more wins, they compound, and then you go, shit, I can do this, dude. I can do this. And then all of a sudden, like you elevate it a bit, like we've talked about, and you're like, wow, I'm like in a different realm because I worked my ass off, and you've earned it
Mhm.
through doing it every day and not like being like emotionally detached from what anybody thinks, what anybody says, just you and beating you yesterday. That's it.
Well,
Just beat you
yeah,
yesterday.
and that's it. Like the negotiation, like the average man falls into a perpetual circle of negotiating with
I'll do it
trading
tomorrow.
short. Yeah, well, it's short-term pleasure for long-term pain usually is how it
Right.
always goes, and it's a constant negotiation that people fail, and they lose the negotiation with themselves, right? What does Tony Blauer say? Never fool yourself, but always remember that you're the easiest person to fool. And
Do that.
and that's what they do. That's what as humans we tend to do constantly. Um, and it just can't work that way. Like
What
you cannot
ifs,
allow it.
what ifs, or I'll do it tomorrow's, dude. That stuff sucks, dude. If you're ever saying I'll do it tomorrow or what if, Justin and I were both busy and we almost didn't make it, but we're here. So we did it, right? We were a little bit
Mhm.
late, but we did it. So it's like just like it's not an option, right? It's
Yeah,
non-negotiable. You get shit done. If I'm tired, I'm tired. Do it anyway. So what?
yeah,
I'll be right.
definitely. And yeah, and it works out. It always works out. But you have to actually try. I don't know that anything like I don't know that I've had failures, but I've never failed.
Mm,
I don't know that anything has never not ultimately worked out. And by the way, not worked out for the better. Because
yeah.
even the situations that
Learning.
when it looks like it's falling apart, it's always worked out. It's always worked out. And I think people are so afraid of failure or whatever is made up in their head. And it's not, it may look like failure at first, but it always turns out to be a lesson. And in most cases, it works out to be completely fine.
Period. Dude, that's the best part, dude. You think it's so funny. You've all seen that meme of that guy sitting on top of, number one. He made it, but under that is failures and all these things that he's failed at that nobody sees. They see him, they go, yeah, it must be nice with that car, must be nice with that house. Dude, you're standing on all kinds of failures, dude. They just didn't stop. This guy never,
Right.
he knows, tried to never stop. These guys, they stop. Most people stop. Oh, it's hard. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. What if? I'll do it tomorrow, all that bullshit. You got to squash that little sucker. You learn to just hit that little voice, dude, and move forward, man. And it becomes a muscle, dude. Like, like we've talked about it. Like, it's not ever even an option that I don't go to the gym. It doesn't even
Mm.
happen. Like, it never happens. I was tired today, but I rushed over there, trying to get back to this. I'm getting it in, dude.
I had an interesting conversation on a podcast with John Moore, who lost like 250 pounds and he's absolutely shredded now. You know who John is.
Yeah.
And it was interesting for a number of reasons, but he's also an addict too. And we were talking about the embracing this new identity that we get. Okay. And so for the longest time, and for most addicts, right, like we get sober and then we become addicted to fitness and to the gym.
Yeah.
And I had this constant desire to not be addicted to anything. Now, of course, I still am, but to like a couple things that come to mind, like not having to hold a drink, like if it's like a glass of club soda or whatever, like when I'm out, like I used to always have to have something in my hand.
Right.
And I used to always remember being out with Jay and watch Jay like walk around and talk to people and he never had anything in his hands. And I was always like, dude, that's badass. Like I could never imagine not having something in my hand,
Yeah. Like,
whether
like
it's
your safety net.
yeah, that's like, yeah, because it would normally be a cocktail.
Mm,
And so like that was one thing that a compulsion that I wanted to get over. And of course I paid a coach to help me get over that compulsion.
yeah.
And then the other thing was that like I didn't want to be the guy that was like, oh, I quit drugs, so now I'm addicted to the gym,
Yeah.
right? And I'm not anymore. Like it's not. I don't go to the gym like to get my head right, right? Like I've talked about this before on other podcasts. Like nowadays, it's just my identity. I go to the gym because that's just like what I do. I'm programmed to do that. That's just like what I do. And I think sometimes, and maybe this isn't traditional AA and stuff like that. But I think sometimes we can like through discipline and consistency, and I think partially too, maybe even mainly the spiritual awakening that we have, be able to reverse some of the addictive tendencies that we have, especially when it comes to creating a new identity for yourself.
Yeah, that's funny. Like, so for example, one of the things we've talked about for me was my identity through the channels that I've started was carnivore. And then when I
Hmm.
stepped away from it, there was a little bit of a culture shock for me that, oh shoot, like I'm so used to like I'm robotic for one part of me, where I'm OCD is the other part of me. So breaking some of that, and it's funny that or this is coming up because that's actually some of the why I'm doing that in April. I don't want that to be my identity. I want to do whatever I want. I don't need to be tied to the carnivore. If I want to do that, I will. You know what I mean? So it's another reason why I'm
Mhm.
doing this. I'm breaking free from that, but because I have caught up to that, I don't need that to be my identity.
No,
Do whatever I want.
no. Now,
I'm
but
not
now,
bondage
but
to it.
so your identity now is you're a CEO of your own life. You're the
Yeah.
CEO of your business. You're the CEO of your family, right? If you want to go to carnivore because you want to look shredded before vacation,
Right.
that's your decision,
Right.
right? If you're having trouble sleeping and you're finding that you're fasting and your meals are whatever, and you want to start eating for performance, that's your decision. You're the
Yeah.
CEO of your
Sure.
life,
Totally.
right? It doesn't have to be at this point, it doesn't have to be an addiction. It doesn't have to be a thing that we have to do to
Sure.
feel a certain type of way, even if it's a positive thing, right? Like we can nowadays, and I think this may be something that if you're an addict listening to this, we can now exist. Like we don't need something. We can just exist, right? You almost graduate to when it's like, okay, I have everything that I need, right? I don't need anything else. I can be me. I can just exist and not coast.
Yeah.
I don't want anybody to there's a big difference between existing and coasting,
Yeah.
but
Mediocrity
finding
sucks.
true, well, no, right. But finding true contentment in who we are, right? Of course, we want to be better. Of course, we always want to grow. Of course, all of that stuff. But we don't need anything extra to make us grow. We grow
Yeah.
because of the discipline that we've achieved. We
Yeah.
grow because of the men that we have become and the identity
Yeah.
that we have embraced, which is
Right.
the
Right. Right.
CEO of our own life.
Well, what you're saying, in other words, is you get to the point after enough work where you're comfortable with you.
Yep.
And most people
Yep.
aren't. I mean, I couldn't even sit out in my backyard ever, my entire life, and just sit there. I was tapping my foot, or I had to go get a guitar or something to move. And now, oh my gosh, it's my favorite time. No one's around. I'm gonna go out there and just let myself just chill, my feet on the ground, birds are chirping. Dude, it's bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I
yeah.
could never do that all my whole life. I couldn't do that.
So confidence obviously comes from consistency, from never negotiating, from discipline, and all of those things,
I
right?
think you earn it.
And
You kinda earn
yeah,
it, and
and
you earn it
yeah,
by,
you earn
like,
it.
and those things are not a constant. They're always under construction. They're never completed. You always are gonna have to kind of reinvent that side of yourself, that because life bobs and weaves, it's gonna throw curves at you. It doesn't want you to be comfortable with yourself. It wants you to have a bottle in your hand or whatever, right? So you have to constantly reinvent, change, better yourself, and it's not the same trajectory, dude. The trajectory is gonna change constantly. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I've talked about it before, but I call it that pocket of bliss or peace where it's pure God's there. You feel God. You feel his presence. It's bliss. It's better than any shot of dope. But like the furthest I've got away from my last shot of dope, it's harder to get there. Why? Because it's harder to earn it now. It's easy to earn it here because anything I did was like not sticking a needle in my arm was different. Now I've accomplished quite a bit. So to continue to get that, I got to freaking earn it. I got to continue
Mhm.
to help people. I got to continue to do things because it's not really helping somebody if you're not putting yourself in an uncomfortable position. If it doesn't put you out in some form, is it really helping somebody? You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's gotta inconvenience you a little bit.
Yeah, it does. Um,
You guys are, you do that thing every Thursday, so that's cool, man. I think that you got a good team brewing, man. You got some guys that are motivated as shit. That's rad.
oh
You're
yeah.
pouring into those guys, they're lit up. That's that's rad, man. That's a big deal.
Yeah, we've grown exponentially in the last 3 months. Like, we've always been huge. But yeah, it's the just the level of individual that I'm working with is unbelievable. And I've always had incredible guys. Like, don't get me wrong, like we still, they're still part of what we do. But the new generation of JWX coaches that have been coming in have been just stand-up dudes. And of course, there's a big reason is because we've upped um the vetting process quite a bit. Like Matt fully screens every single person. So when I get on calls, it's a very simple share each other's stories, get to know each other enrollment call, which is nice. I'm taking less calls. I'm only taking 3 calls a day, which is brilliant. We're only taking on 5 guys a day, or a week, which is brilliant. So and it's funny because like I backed down what my goal was and ended up with a higher number.
Yeah.
Like, how does that
Yeah.
work?
That's a Alex
Um,
Hormozi approach, man. Raise it up and
it's
like do less.
Yeah, yeah. So it's been really nice. And just being able to work with guys that are just like eager and hard workers. So no, everything has been moving like water, very fluid, very easy. My
Yeah.
biggest headache right now is I'm redoing the backyard and we're putting all new turf in
Yeah.
around the pool. So you're out there, buying watches right now. I'm building an outdoor kitchen and a whole terrace and everything in our home and ripping up everything, all the trees, all the landscaping, everything. I'm ripping it all up and putting beautiful turf back there because, you know, Stetson needs a place to run and shit. You know what I mean? And he deserves it. He's a pretty good boy. By the way, he is fully potty trained, like in a week but he's now he's 10 weeks old or just about 11 weeks old. He is fully potty trained, knows to go to the door, knows to alert me, knows exactly where to go, and knows exactly like when to come back for a treat and everything. He is fully crate trained and potty trained too. Uh,
No easy feat.
like, like a stud, like a stud. He knows exactly what to do. It's incredible. I've been so consistent with him. I was like, I'm going to make this the most perfect golden retriever ever. I'm going to take my time with him, and so I train him all day long in between calls. I'm outside with him, and just very focused on making him like the most pleasant family dog ever.
That's rad, man. They're good dogs. As anyways, listen to this as Justin talks. These are some of the perks that you get with work ethic and taking the risk and betting on yourself, whatever that means, like whatever business that you want. It doesn't have to be social media, right? But the crazy part is when you put your head down and work your ass off relentlessly until you reach whatever goal it is you have. Money, things, those are rad. We all want them, duh. Like I always say, it's just the truth, right? They're nice. They're rad. It's nice to be able to go buy what you want, and that's cool. But like what I was saying, and one of the perks for me that's just the raddest part of my life changing on social media and the doors that have opened, it's sitting on a podcast with you. This week I have my mentor, the man that literally like changed the trajectory of me coming into my podcast studio, sitting down with me, and I'm going to interview my mentor on my podcast, which if you knew where I started, man, that wasn't even on my radar, dude, right? Like I'm in his
Yeah,
huge recording studio going, wow, this is insane. I didn't even know people had a recording studio. I didn't even know social media worked like that. But if you surround yourself with the right men, if you surround yourself with men that won't let you be okay with mediocrity and they will turn around and pass on, like Justin, what here's how you do it. You don't have to reinvent anything. Just do this. Literally be consistent every day. I don't remember who said this, but if you post every day for a year, you'll never have to work another day in your life. Meaning, it just residually starts to evolve. But I'm sitting with my mentor in my own podcast studio that I built on my podcast, and that's huge for me because he changed my life. And then two
yeah,
weeks later, I got freaking Sean Whalen flying in from Utah to sit down and come in my podcast. Last time I flew to him, this time he's coming to me. Um, and that's freaking rad because I respect
yeah,
the guy. I've been following him for years, And it's like, dude, how the hell did that happen? Well, it happened because I started believing in myself to the degree where I got in the rooms with the people that I used to respect and not think I was anywhere in the realm of them. So
yep,
that's what we talked about on this podcast today, right? Is believe that you can and you will, but you have to have
yeah,
the relentless work ethic to outwork the times that life goes, you're not worth it. And then you go, fuck that. I'm worth it. I'll outwork that shit. That's
right,
it. Like I'm
yeah.
tired, right? Getting 3 hours of sleep, whatever. I'm still here, whatever.
It's all
That's it.
possible. It's all possible. It's just a matter of, are you going to choose to do it? Everything is a decision. It's all a
Well, those
decision.
calls that
And
you have on Thursday, do those guys are they do those guys just show up because they want to, or do they show up because they're supposed to? I don't know how it works.
well,
Like, do you
they're
like
invest.
suggest they do it, or like you kind of like lean on them, or do they show up because they're motivated to get better?
No,
There's a
well, they
big
don't. No,
difference.
they don't have to do anything that they want to. Yeah, of course
Right.
they want
Okay,
to.
that's
They're
a big
motivated to get
difference. So those
better.
are the guys that are going to succeed. Now, the guys that sit there and they show up and they don't do shit, which a lot of them, but the ones
Yeah.
that put action behind it, they're going to succeed.
Well, yeah, and they're heavily invested, right? Like you have to be heavily invested to actually do something. Like I think a lot of people It's funny because, and I don't want to bust it out too much, but obviously I'm in the Warrior Maker stuff, and I know, and I've talked to a lot of the guys inside of there, and then you have like your guys that are like, we got to pay for this stuff now, like what the hell, like it's like, dog, like if you're not invested in what you're doing, you're not going to be successful in it. It's just not going to happen.
Dude,
And the guy,
do you know that the richest, the most wealthy people in the world, they all pay for education. They all pay for
Mhm.
masterminds. They all do. Mark Moss paid, he told me he pays at least over $300,000 going to masterminds every year.
Yeah,
$300,000. He holds masterminds and charges people 60 grand. He holds them. But why do you think he does that? He freaking learns. He invests
yeah,
in himself 300 grand to make what? Millions. Is it worth it?
yeah,
It's easy math.
yeah.
Math,
Dude,
right?
I still probably spend 15 to 20% of my income on coaching for myself.
It's you have
Personal,
to.
like, like, yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, I have a coach that helps me with NLP on like compulsion, on like habits, on things like that I want to, like, and they're little things, right? They're like I said, again, the holding a drink in my hand, like, dude, like I pay people a lot of money to like fix these things that I notice about myself, these things that I know I could be better with, right? Me and Christina don't have any problems, like real problems, right? We fight or we bicker or whatever, but like I was like, hey, I got a guy that can help us with some inner child work that will help us grow together. Should we get him incorporated in our relationship? And we're like, yeah, hell yeah. So we just, we hired this dude to like give us some good like de-escalation things if we start to argue or whatever. And we are perfect now. We've grown so much, and we were always good. We never had issues. Hey guys, we had some technical difficulties. Look, if you guys enjoyed what you watched, make sure you click subscribe, make sure you comment and save this and like it and do all the other things. I don't know what you guys do anymore, but just get it done. Thank you guys so much for watching the Sick Boys podcast. We'll catch you next time.